We are live. It is Tuesday night live, and we are in the house. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Wait, I'm doing it the wrong way. Good Tuesday evening. It's Tuesday, January 13th. Already. We just put away our Christmas tree, and now we're talking about the middle of January. And when I say we just put away our Christmas tree, I mean me. I just put away all my Christmas decorations today. Yeah. How about you? Let me know where you are viewing from. Drop it down in the chat. And please do, when you're here, give me a thumbs up. That helps this algorithm, that helps them to know, hey, there's a live going on and it's a good one. Can you hear me okay? Let me make sure. Yeah, everything looks good. There we go. Make sure it's loud enough. I see Pretty Pennies. Hello there. How is everyone doing? Texas, the weather has been really strange. It was like this unusually warm winter, and now the chill is coming. It's a little bit chilly. I mean, compared to some other places, it's not really, but yeah, we got a little chill going on here in Texas. How about you? I am waiting just a little bit. Like I said, drop it down in the chat where you're viewing from, and give us that thumbs up. I see it. Thank you. I see it. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tiffany. Thank you very much. I see those hands, those thumbs up. So I am going to get started because an hour, it seems like it's a lot of time, but it goes by so fast when you have so much cruise news to talk about. I'm going to give you some of the big stories. I'm going to give you some of the big deals. And I have a question for you. And I think you see it. I have a poll. There's a poll. Answer that poll for me. This has to do with one of our big stories that we're going to talk about right away. And this is NCL, Norwegian Cruise Line. First of all, how many of you have been on Norwegian? Yeah, but it's been a really long time. So I have to give Norwegian another try. But I want to know what you're going to think about it once I share this story with you, because Norwegian is going big and they're going all out. I have my notes up here, so I'm going to read it to you. It's very interesting. So happy Tuesday. If I hadn't said it already, we have some massive cruise news to kick off with tonight, between a major rebranding of a cruise line, whole rebranding going on, to rumored new ships that we're going to talk about, and also a maiden voyage today, a maiden voyage. So I see that. We have plenty to talk about. Let's jump into it. NCL's rebranding. Have you seen it? It started off with their logo being changed. It went from whatever color it was. I'm not sure. If you remember what color it was, drop it in the chat. But it went from that color to all of a sudden their logo was black. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And many people picked up on it. Like, what's going on with NCL? Well, they've rebranded this whole new concept. Let me tell you about it. They're going retro, retro. We have to talk about this, right? They just launched this massive global rebrand. That was like yesterday. Bringing back their iconic 90s tagline. So back in the 90s, and we actually sailed on NCL like 2002 or 3, I think it was. So early 2000s. But back in the 90s, their tagline was, "It's different out here." That was NCL's tagline. NCL commercial comes up. It's different out here. Okay. So they're moving away from showing off their slides and their rides and all the thrills, and they're focusing on like memories and what they call freedom. So I decided to dig a little deeper and see what NCL is talking about when it comes to what makes them different. It's different out here, And before I do, let me know what your thoughts are about what's different on an NCL cruise. But let me tell you some of the things that I learned, because I've only done NCL once. So some of the things that I learned about NCL. Okay. NCL was the first cruise line to do freestyle cruising. What am I talking about? They invented it. This is the eliminating the mandatory dining times. Traditional cruising, you had early and you had late seating, and sometimes there would be a third option. But it was early seating, late seating. You picked your dining time when you were going to get on the ship. That was it. Okay. They also changed their fixed entertainment schedules, and they changed the formal dress code. This was all done to empower guests to eat, play, and relax on your own terms. Okay. Did we all like that? I guess we all did. We like, okay, this hair is about to get on my nerve. I thought I had it together. Stay, stay, stay. All right. Yes. So freestyle. Do you prefer having fixed dining times? Do you do your freestyle? It's called something different on every cruise lines, but do you like that? Having your choice. You can go dine anytime within that dinner range, right? Instead of having to go sit down at 6 o'clock. What are your choose? Drop it down in the comments. Which do you prefer? So that was one of the things that NCL did first. Then NCL was the first cruise lines to do weekly Caribbean cruises. Yeah, before it was like 4 days, 5 days, but NCL started the 7-day Caribbean cruises. This radically expanded accessibility and the cadence in cruise itineraries, changing the whole way cruising was done. So, very interesting. They were actually the first to have their private island in the Bahamas, which we have been to and had some good barbecue there, very much so. The first their cruise line is called, not their cruise line, their cruise island. It's called Great Stirrup Cay. Okay. Have you been there? Yep. So this allowed them to have some curated specialty NCL things right there on a private island. They were the first to do that. Did you know? They're also the first to really get aboard with the solo cruising leadership. So it became a leader in solo cruising, meaning they have cabins just for solo people, and they started giving programming for solos. What a thought that somebody might actually get on a cruise ship just by themselves. Yes, it does happen. So NCL was the first to do that. And they were also the first to do what we called on unique innovations on a cruise ship. I know a lot of us probably think it was Royal Caribbean. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was NCL. They were the first to have the Prima Speedway, which is their go-karts, track at sea. They were the first to have a charcoal sauna on board. Charcoal sauna. Anybody ever tried the charcoal sauna? They were the first to have attractions like that aqua slide coaster, which is this magnetic propelled water coaster. And that debuted on their Norwegian Aqua. So NCL has been doing lots of innovative firsts. You don't hear about them as much as some of the other mainstream cruises, right? Are you a fan of NCL? I'd love to know. I'd love to hear your take on it. So what do you think about this rebranding? They're going back. It says here that NCL is doing something that they consider themselves being long distinguished from others. They're doing this disruptive approach to go back to an older time, a slower time, a time where you can create memories, having freedom, having flexibility over like the big thrills, the big rides, the big, the biggest thing. Yeah. All right, NCL. Is this a sign that their mega ships arms race is finally cooling down? And I ask that because, now it's who's got the biggest ship. Oh, this ship is the world's largest cruise ship. And then who's going to build the bigger next one? Oh, that's the world's largest cruise ship. NCL said, nope. Doesn't have to be the world's largest. It's just going to be, full of great innovation, great memories, great food, great entertainment, laid back style. What do you think about NCL? I think it's very interesting, doing something a little different, right? Disrupting it. So that is our first story coming out the bat, NCL. And I have this poll up because I wanted to know what's important to you when you get on a cruise. Everybody cruises for different reasons. And we want it all, right? I want great food, great entertainment, great port. I want it all. But like on your list of things that are like the most important to you, fill out that poll there. I was asking, is it the food? Is it the ports? Is it the high-tech innovations that they have? What is it that really does it for you? Like you sit down and think, I want to go on this ship. Like, what is it? What does it? So fill that out for me so I can figure it out. I'll use this in another live or in another video when I find out what it really is that gets you going on a cruise. Yeah. Okay. Now, our next cruise story takes us over to Royal Caribbean. Of course, we're going to talk about Royal. The rumors are going wild, and I've talked about this in some of my videos before. We're talking about new cruise ships. I mean, come on. If you are a cruiser, that's one of the things that you always want to talk about. What's the newest ship or the latest ship coming maybe to your closest port? Well, we've talked about the Discovery class of ship. You heard it? Right. And here's the thing, it's not a bigger ship. These are not going to be the size of Icon class ships, just the opposite. These are purposely built smaller vessels. So the rumor has come out. It's not just a rumor anymore. We've got official word from Royal Caribbean. So let me share this story with you. Big news for Royal Caribbean fans about the Discovery class. Yeah. So we were hearing these rumors about Royal Caribbean possibly building smaller ships, and yes, they are. So let me tell you, first of all, what is the Discovery class of ships for Royal Caribbean? Here are some of the details. So these ships are going to be mid-sized in design, not the big babies. So they're expected to be around 70,000 to 100,000 gross tons, much smaller than the mega ships that they've been producing, which are around 250,000 gross tons. So these are smaller. These are not Oasis class. They're not Icon class size vessels, smaller ships. The passenger capacity for these ships, they're going to estimate to carry about 2,000 to 3,000 guests. So when you talk about a ship like, the Star that can carry 10,000 people, it's a big difference. Smaller ships, these are going to offer a much more intimate cruising experience. Okay. Now, the routes and the ports that they're going to go to with these smaller vessels, we're looking at stuff like the Panama Canal. These ships can go through the Panama Canal. They're designed to transit through the Panama Canal. And they're also designed to go into the Caribbean, of course, and Alaska, but maybe some alternate ports that the big boys aren't able to get to. They also have some exotic itineraries tailored like Northern Europe. Yeah. Of course, the Mediterranean, Asia, South Pacific, but the smaller ports that we don't always see on the big ships. So their design and their technology, this is how Discovery is going to be different. They're lower profile. That's what that means. These ships will have reduced height so they can clear ports like Baltimore and Sydney that have the low profile, the bridges and things like that. So a lower profile, they can get in there. They're also going to be green. Ships are moving to doing something better, having better, green capabilities. So they're going to be likely powered by LNG or have dual fuel engines, something to keep them greener. Yes. And also, what's the purpose? Why would Royal Caribbean do this when they have mega uber success with their Icon and their Oasis class ships? People are shelling out the big bucks. You're paying the price sometimes of a luxury or even an ultra luxury cruise for one of the Icon or one of the Oasis class ships. People are paying that money right now. So why switch up the game? What do you think? Why switch it up? Well, it's usually about money, right? When something is going really well and they change it, it's usually about they think they can do even better. And I have that question for you. So this is meant to phase out their older Vision and Radiance class vessels. So, all ships are not the same. So many people tell me that in the comments. I went on MSC Seascape and they're like, well, all MSC ships are not the same. No ships are all the same because they're built, at different times. So the older ships have lesser amenities and the style looks a bit outdated, but they're still great ships. They're still multi-million-dollar ships that take us on great, places. But they're thinking of phasing those Vision and Radiance class out, refreshing them to this Royal midsize offering. Also, they're seeking to serve smaller home ports. I already kind of talked about that, and go to those off the beaten path kind of locations. So many cruisers out here in Texas, they say we're tired of going to the same places. You know, we're always going to Cozumel. This the same places. So now these ships can go into different ports, something that, you know, we haven't been to before. So that's exciting. So these ships are in development right now. Right now. It's not a rumor, it's what's happening. And really they started talking about this and it started buzzing back in 2023, but it is confirmed that they are progressing. And they began like really getting into the nitty-gritty, getting this together in September. So it's been going on now, what, 3 September, October, November, December, January. I had to count 4 months. Yeah, these ships are rumored to be built by Chantiers de l'Antiques. That's the French shipbuilder. That's the rumor. That's still a rumor. That has not 100% been confirmed yet. Now, when will these ships get to us? Well, you know, it takes time to build multi-billion-dollar cruise ships. We're looking at late 2027, probably 2028, based on the latest markings that they're given here. So not, I mean, 27 is next year, right? But not too long. These ships are still going to have all of the modern amenities. Like they're not going to scale back on the amenities. They're scaling back on the size, but not on the amenities. But it is going to be a much more intimate group, intimate, you know, smaller vessel means less people, and having that agility, being able to get into places that we hadn't been able to go to before. So in essence, Discovery class, they're trying to merge Royal Caribbean's flair for innovation. And, you know, you got to say they come up with some very innovative ideas over there on Royal Caribbean with being agile and also now being destination focused. These are going to be destination focused ships, ships that can go where others just can't. So that's why it's called the Discovery class, because these ships are built to allow us to discover these new ports. I mean, they're not new, but maybe new to us who travel on mainstream cruises, right? So what do you think? Are they listening? Is this something that you are like, yeah, go ahead, Royal? Because people have been asking for smaller ships. The more and more they're building these massive mega ships, they are loved, but people are asking for, what about the smaller, more intimate vessels? So I think Royal Caribbean has heard you. I'd love to know your thoughts. Drop it down in the comments. Bigger, smaller, which one? Or I don't even care. Just get me on a ship. You know, I yet have not been on one of their Icon class ships. So I do need to check out an Icon class Royal and then check out one of their smaller vessels. But there is something to be said about a ship that can get into a port maybe that we hadn't been to before. So that's exciting. I'm all for it. All for it. I have more cruise news for you. More cruise news. I'm going to talk to you about an ultra luxury ship. And I don't talk about ultra luxury as much. It's just because the majority of people don't take those, you know, for many reasons. But they need to be discussed because, like I said, some of us are already paying ultra luxury pricing to go on mainstream cruises. So why not see what you get for the money? And you do get a lot. There is value in this, although it costs, you know, triple, double, sometimes of the price that you might pay now. What is it? Is there still value in it because of all that they offer? And I think the answer is yes. So let's talk about this next cruise news story. We're talking about the maiden voyage of the Ritz-Carlton's Luminara. Yes, Ritz-Carlton doesn't just build hotels. They build cruise ships. They're more like yachts. They're these uber nice yachts. So let's talk about that. The ultra luxury Luminara from Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection just made its maiden call in Hong Kong today. So they are traveling over there in Asia. This ship is redefining what luxury really looks like in 2026. So if you've ever wondered what this like yacht experience is all about, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to paint this picture for you. I'm going to show you. Well, I'm not going to show you, but I'm going to tell you, and you have to picture it in your mind's eye. But I am going to make it crystal clear what this yacht ultra luxury yacht experience is and how it compares to our traditional cruises, because you need to know it's not just about the price. What am I getting for the price? All right. So the Ritz-Carlton Luminara, it offers all balcony suites. Every room on there is a balcony suite. Okay. It has very upscale dining. I saw a cruise news story today that they were comparing the lobster that you get now to the lobster that you used to get maybe 10 years ago. And the complaint was the lobster that we get now, let me see if I can do this big. Is that really a lobster that big compared to a lobster tail that, was like a lobster tail? And people are saying, wait a minute, what is this? You call this lobster? So we're not nickel and diming here. We're not giving you don't have to go to a specialty restaurant to get elevated food. All of the dining on these ultra luxury yacht club ships, first of all of the rooms are balcony suites, so you have more room. And secondly, all of the food is elevated. You're getting that top tier food there in that main dining room. Okay. You have spa and art that are supported by you have ultra luxury spa and art, and sometimes the spa is included in the price. Now, the art, of course, you have to purchase the art, but it's the luxury offering is like the spa that might be included. You don't have to get a pass to go to a thermal suite or anything like that. Okay. Now let's talk about I'm going to save the price for later. So also on these suites, you have a 1-to-1 cruise to staff ratio. Usually on these kind of ships, the maximum is somewhere between 300 to 400 people. This one on the Luminara, it can handle 400, and 52 guests. That's it. There's 452 guests just in the elevators on half these ships. Get on embarkation day and try to get on an elevator. There's 452 people there. So these ships, this one maxes out at 452 guests. And that means there's a 1-to-1 staff ratio. You're going to be able to find somebody to take care of you, to answer your questions, to help you all around that ship. Yeah. I'm sorry. Let me lift this up right quick. There we go. All right. Here we go. It says there's Michelin inspired dining. So I was telling you about that. The food is already elevated. You don't have to wait for anything. So these ships, they offer a lot. Now, some of the things that you're not going to see on these ultra luxury ships are large roller coasters and gigantic water slides. Sometimes there's not even a casino, but people seem to like that. And it doesn't have to be stuffy just because it's luxury. That's the thing about him. They still have great entertainment. Now, you're not going to see anybody flying necessarily over you. There's probably not an ice show, but still great entertainment, music, destination focused, and going to, places once again that the bigger ships can't go to. That is what you're looking for with that. What do you think about that? All right, let me tell you the price. So what do you get for all of this? It says here, it's usually starting from $8,700 per person. Yeah. Now, also, that comes with all your dining is included. All of your beverages are included. You're not paying extra for pops. You're not paying extra for wine and beer. That's all included. You're not paying extra for Wi-Fi either. What are some of the other things that they charge you extra for? Yeah, it's included. All that's included. So your drinks, all the specialty dining, Wi-Fi, all of that is included. Around $8,700 for a week-long cruise, right? Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. It's meant to be exclusive. You're going to have to want to go on this to fork out $8,700. But like I said, some of these cruises now, they're getting up there to get a nice suite or a yacht club or, the ship within a ship concept. And some of these cruises, you're paying $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. So would you do it? Would you do it? Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. I would definitely do it. I would do it. Let me give you some other prices. Um, the owner's suite, which is the top of the top, $54,600 for an itinerary. So this one is a little bit longer. It's not 7 days. It's like a longer one. I'm not quite sure if it's 10, 14, or 21 days, but it's not just 7 days. Okay. The concierge suite, just a little below that, $46,200. The residential suite, $33,600. This is the total, not per person. Okay. The Luminari suite, 29,400, and then the view suite, 25,200. So you and another person, 25,000, be on a 10, 14, 20-day ultra luxury yacht experience with food, beverages, drinks, Wi-Fi. And another thing that they usually include are the excursions. Yeah, it's all included. This is really that inclusive kind of travel. Would you do it? I would do it. My family, they question, we have these talks, right? And we talk about a new ship or a new offering, and then we say, would you do it? Yeah. I'm a cruise fanatic, and I'm not trying to get out of it. I'm not trying to get any kind of help for it. I really enjoy cruising. Cruising is, I enjoy cruising. So I would do it. I would definitely do it. Okay. Let me pull up some of the other info that I have here for you because I have, so this is still wave season, and I have some other cruise news for you too. Hold on. Let me grab it. There we go. One of these stories is going to make you mad. You're going to be upset. I was upset when I read this story. It's going to make you mad, but I thought I need to share it anyway. And once again, I have to start this story off the way I start all stories off that have a lot to do with like a political agenda. Okay. I have my own political leanings. I have my own faith and religious beliefs and leanings, and I'm welcome to that, and you are welcome to yours. So this is not about what you believe, what I believe with this politics. This is just about what's going on, and we're talking about this ICE situation. Now, my sister had to catch me up on what was going on with that. But as you know, with this ICE situation, I'm going to leave it there. All right. So think about yourself on a cruise with your significant other, and this happens to you. I'm going to read the headlines, and then we'll get into it. Armed officers storm cruise cabin, detain U.S. veteran by mistake. Ooh, I'm getting hot again. Hold on. I'm getting hot again. Let me read it. So Jose, or Joey Martinez, and his wife Tamara are on a cruise, and it's the last night of their cruise. They hear a banging at the door aboard the Carnival Horizon, okay, just before 7 a.m. And this was on January 5th, so like last week. And they were there on this cruise celebrating Joey's 50th birthday. So they hear the bang on the door, then the door opens, and all they see are flashlights entering the room. He says 3 giant men wearing black masks, and they were armed, started pointing flashlights at us and started shouting. Okay. That's not the way I want to wake up on my cruise experience. I've enjoyed, 6 nights aboard, and now my 7th night is this. Okay. So Joey, he lives in Phoenix. He says that him and his wife were only half dressed. And the wife grabbed her cell phone and she began filming. She's like, oh no, she was thinking, I'm going to film. Joey says that a female customs officer jumped on the bed and snatched the phone from the wife. It gets worse. Then he was handcuffed, and the border protection officers took him away for 90 minutes. As well as the phone. They took the wife's phone as well. So took him away for 90 minutes. He was placed in a holding cell at the Miami port, according to the couple. Only upon his release did authorities explain that they were actually looking for another person with Martinez's name. Same name, but not him. He said, "We were in shock. It was traumatizing." You think? Um, yeah. Now, Carnival has made it clear that they were not the ones involved in this. This was Customs and Border Patrol. They're not involved. Okay, you're on Carnival's ship, but they said they're not involved. Carnival did say, "We are aware that U.S. Customs and Border Protection took a guest into custody as a person of interest," the company said, "and this is a law enforcement matter. We defer all further questions to the appropriate authorities." So Carnival said, that wasn't me. No, don't blame me. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol has yet to say anything. They've received no apology. The couple says nothing. Oh my goodness. When I read this story, when I heard this story, it makes you angry. Because I mean, I understand that they being US boredom. I said US boredom. Maybe they're bored. US border and customs, right? They have a job to do. Most of us have a job. I got to go to work and I got to do stuff. All right. I got you. But come on. How many John Smiths are there in the world? How many? You don't just come banging and detain them. You check first. There's so many, there's so many comments and things that we can say to this. That's that. Yeah. That one was upsetting. I think that is terrible. That is a terrible injustice. And he's a US veteran. And this person born in the United States. He's a United States citizen, military veteran, celebrating his 50th birthday, and this is what happened to him. Ooh, I don't know if you can file a lawsuit against them or whatever, but I would guess that we're going to hear more about this because you can't just do people like that. Yeah, it is ridiculous. I agree, Tiffany. That is ridiculous. I said that was probably going to make you mad. Okay, enough of that one. It's cruise news, so I had to get it out there, but that's crazy. So guys, be aware. And I'm glad that he just fully cooperated with them, that there was no kind of, weirdness. Now the wife did try to video it, and her phone was taken away, but whew. All right. Let me tell you our next cruise news story before we shift over to some fun, exciting stuff that I have just for you. Talking about Royal Caribbean again. Royal Caribbean is saying, once again, kind of for what's going on in the world, political wise, they won't be going to their this Caribbean island for the whole year. They have made a statement that although it was on their itineraries, they're not going all of 2026. What are we talking about? Their private island of Labadee. Let me read you the story. Royal Caribbean international ships won't visit their cruise line's private destination in Haiti through at least the rest of the year. They are saying it's out of an abundance of caution. So they've extended their pause on Labadee through December of 2026. Yeah. So the company had previously suspended calls on that island through April of 2026, and it was because of the ongoing violence that was going on in the country. There was a gang violence that had escalated, and we saw some horrible images over there of things, fire and killings and all of that. So they had stopped going there. Right now, the travel advisory list that the U.S. State Department puts out is at a level 4. So that's do not travel, which is the highest rating. So they say crimes involving firearms are very common in Haiti. They also include like robbery, carjacking, sexual assault, kidnappings. So right now, the word is do not travel to Haiti for any reason right now. Cruise, flights. Now, anybody know different, like maybe they're from there or they know something different? This is all the information I'm getting. But we are being told don't go to Haiti at all for any reason right now. And Royal Caribbean is listening. So if you had a Royal Caribbean cruise and the private island, which Labadee, Haiti, they won't be going there for 2026. Right now, I don't have any information on what they're going to switch those calls to or what they're going to do to change, but they won't be going there. Have you ever been to their private island? Yeah, I haven't been to theirs, so I don't know if you've ever been to it and it's really nice. Yeah, I'm not sure. Wow. All right. Did you answer those poll questions? Let's see. Hold on a second. Yeah, music and entertainment. Music and entertainment, yeah. You know, once you've been on a cruise ship, and maybe you've gone to the ports that they are going to, you know, now it's all about the ship itself, right? So you want fun things to do on your cruise, and everybody considers something different fun. But entertainment of some sort is usually one of them, and having great food. That's another one. All right, I have to grab my phone to give you this information. I want to talk to you about cruise deals. I'm going to start first with some that are last minute. So I want to get those out of the way. Are you a person that is able to go on a cruise kind of like at the last minute? A lot of us are not. We got to take time off at work and do other things. But I want to tell you about these last minute cruise deals because they're coming up, right? Let me look and see. So the under $200 weekend escape. I know I just told you about Ritz-Carlton, right? And Ritz-Carlton, it's 87 grand. Now I'm switching over to a cruise that's only $200. $200. MSC, man, oh man, MSC is coming out swinging. They want us U.S. cruisers. They want our business. They're trying to get us on their ships. They're trying to impress. And they're hitting it first where the money is by those great prices. So MSC has their deal under $200 out of Miami. It's a 3-night Bahamas and Ocean Key, their private island. And this sails January 16th. But it also sails January 23rd. So if you are at all able to do a quick weekend getaway, you can go on a cruise and have a great weekend for $200. Can't you spend $200 sitting right at your house? Don't pull up Amazon, TikTok, Temu, Shein, Walmart. You can sit on your phone and spend $200 at the house without a show, without a good meal, and without the sights going by. $200 on MSC. The price starts at $179 to $194 per person. Why this is a steal? Well, we know why. This includes your port taxes and your fees. This is the total price. You literally can't stay at a decent hotel in Miami for that price, and that's true. That's what my notes say. See? I know you didn't see. To get into a nice hotel in Miami is more than $200 a night. Jump on this deal if you can. If you need help booking that, you can always click on any of the information that I have on any of the videos to contact us, DM us. I can help you get that booked right away, under $200. All right, how about the next one? The Sweet Life upgrade. This one is on Celebrity Cruises. Have you done Celebrity before? Okay, so this deal is on Celebrity Constellation out of Tampa. It's a 7-night Western Caribbean cruise. Now, remember, these are last-minute deals I'm talking to you about right now. This departs January 17th, so you get a couple more days. Their exciting deals just dropped today. Today, this dropped. They're offering 75% off the second guest, plus up to $600 in instant savings. Pretty good. Let me tell you why this is a great deal. This is a steal. If you book a veranda or a concierge class today, you're getting the all included with that. What is the all included? Drinks and Wi-Fi. So that's a fraction of the price of what you would usually have to pay for those added included extras. Included in the price on Celebrity Constellation. Sound good? 7 nights. The first one was a weekend getaway. This one's a 7 night. Let me tell you about the next one. The new ship flash sale. You ready to go on a new ship? This one is on Carnival. This is the Carnival Mardi Gras out of Port Canaveral. It's not the newest ship, but one of their newest ships. It's a 7 night Eastern Caribbean. This is departing on January 17th. Once again, the price for an interior cabin, they're hovering right around $619 per person, $88 per day, less than $100 per day to get on one of Carnival's biggest, newest ships, 7 night. Let me tell you, though, why this is a steal of a deal. For one of Carnival's flagships, XL class ships, with the roller coaster, finding something less than $100 a night is usually impossible. Their XL class ships are usually more than that per night. So you're getting a great deal for 7 nights. Here's another one. One more. This is the last minute deals. I still have some other deals, but these are great if you can go. These are great. The spontaneous luxury pick. Now we're heading over to Virgin Voyages. Okay, Virgin Voyages on their Valiant Lady. This one is out of Miami as well. It's a 4 night. It's called Fire and Sunset Soirees. And this departs on January 21st. Okay. This current wave offer gives you 80% off the second person. Okay. So why is this a good deal? Well, if there's two of you and you split the cost, you're looking at a premium adults only experience for about $140 per night. Remember, that includes the 20 plus specialty restaurants, that includes Wi-Fi, and that includes your gratuities included. And if you're looking for a kids, I almost said a kids only, an adults only cruise, Virgin Voyages is doing it and doing it big. Those are last minute deals. So here in my notes, it says, if you have a suitcase and a dream, we both have those, don't we? We're really seeing some insanely good cruise prices. Those are four that are just like top notch, but those are the last minute deals. But don't worry, there are more. Remember, on my last live that I talked to you about last week and being a travel advisor, this is wave season. Guys, this is the time to book your cruise. I was talking to my mom. If you are at all interested in booking a cruise in 27, 28, 29, do it now. They have some spectacular deals where you can book cruises for $25, $49, $50. Hold that cruise that you're looking at and go about your business. Grab your cabin location that you're looking for and don't have to worry about it for months and months and months on end. If you're thinking about any kind of cruise, you want to do an Alaska, you want to do a bucket list, you want to just do a weekend getaway, check out what's available. And some of these cruise lines now, like I say, less than $100 down, you can hold that. Wave season is here. It's here. Jump on it. All right. Let me find the other cruise deals because those were last minute and everybody can't just pack up and go last minute, right? I wish. If you can, let me know. All right. Here are some other deals because there's always going to be some great deals during wave season. Check with your travel advisor. NCL's Free at Sea, they have a mega offer going on right now. Let me tell you about that one. NCL is currently offering 50% off all cruises with their Free at Sea package. They're slashing them in half and they're giving you the included package. That's a deal already. Let me tell you more. If you book by January 20th, they're throwing in $1,000 in onboard credit. And the second guest sails free on select sailings. Now, when I give you this information, remember, like I told you last week, it's select sailings. There's certain restrictions and all that, but grab one of these deals. Think about the Norwegian Luna. You can snag a 3-night Bahamas cruise starting at $529 per person for their brand new flagship cruise. Wow. These are some, I'm telling you, I'm excited. As a travel advisor and cruise lover, woo, I'm ready to go. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to go soon. I'll tell you more about that later. Royal Caribbean. What's going on with Royal? Royal Caribbean has their BOGO 60 plus kids sail free. So let me explain to you what this offer is all about. This deal is 60% off your second guest and kids sail free. So this is going to work best if you have a second person and maybe one or two kids. You're going to get a steal of a deal. These sailings are departing through 2026. All right, let me tell you about this. So check out the Freedom of the Seas. Out of Miami, this is a 4-night Caribbean getaway. Prices for the Freedom of the Seas, a Royal Caribbean cruise out of Miami, are starting at $249 per person. What? On select 2026 dates. This is perfect for those who want the Discovery class, like that feeling before you ever even get on the Discovery class, because it's about the size of this Discovery class that we talked about. But if you just want to get onto a Royal Caribbean cruise, let me tell you another strategy. People ask, how do you cruise often? How do you cruise so often? Well, I'm a travel advisor, but there are other ways that you can cruise often without robbing your wallet every time you need to, and that's through casino deals. I know everybody's not going to play in the casino, so then this isn't for you. But if you would play in the casino, you can go on, let's say, a weekend Royal. That's a steal of a deal, $250. Go to the casino and play in that casino. Now you have to look at other videos that tell you how you're going to maximize your casino play to put as little money in and get the best deal out, because it's a combination of the games you play, how much you play, and how long you play. It's your coin in. It might be, they might say you need to cycle through $1,500 in a machine to get a deal. Well, don't make your eyes go big. We're not saying that you got to take out $1,500 and put it in the machine, because as you know, you play and you win a little, then you lose a little, then you win a little and you lose a little. So you hit, you're on the dime machine and you hit and you win $20. Well, you keep playing. So you're cycling that money back in, right? Go and do that and see how the offers start to pour in. I'm talking about half off offers, free drink offers, and then free cruise offers. Now there's more to it than that, but if you are looking to be able to cruise much more often, not just one a year, maybe not even 2 a year, but you're able to do maybe 3 a year, maybe 4 a year, or you're wanting to get there, getting on one of the least expensive that you can find of that brand. Say you're wanting to go on a Norwegian. Do a Norwegian cruise, one of these offers that I've told you about that's a great deal. Get in that casino and you don't have to break the bank. I'm talking about bankrolls like $200 or less. Very reasonable. Now, if you have more, there you go. But you don't necessarily have to do more. Yeah. I don't know why I'm getting stuffed up. Okay, let me tell you about the next one. Virgin Voyages. This is a different one. This is their Wave 2026. This deal is once again 80% off the second sailor and then up to $400 on their bar tab. Because Royal Caribbean is different. They don't have like the drink package. They have a bar tab, an amount that you put down and then spend that on your drinks. So let me tell you why this is a great deal. Virgin includes Wi-Fi, tips, and all specialty dining in their base fares. Already included. When you add an 80% discount for the second person, the value per person is currently beating most premium lines. So if you have 2 people doing this, you're going to get a steal of a deal. When you split that cost after the 80%, that's a steal of a deal. And they have a new hot itinerary also. They're going to Alaska Awe. Well, it's called Alaska Awe. They're going to Alaska, sailing out of Seattle. So let's see, during wave season, let me see. It says here that it can save you up to $1,200 compared to last year's launch price. So what in the world is cheaper year after year? Usually nothing. Usually every year prices go up. You can get on a Virgin cruise and pay less this year than you would have paid last year. So that's a smoking hot deal, especially if you're looking for that premium line with no kids. Check it out. Okay, now there's also the Magic discount. Magic, who do you think I'm talking about now? We're heading over to Disney Cruise Lines. Disney is having their Magic discount. What is that? This is 35% savings on select 2026 cruises. And in front of that, it's the word rare. Yeah, because these kind of savings for Disney is rare. I've looked, they're rare. So, what do you get? Most of these are on the Disney Adventure, which sails out of Singapore, which is their absolute beautiful brand new ship. It is stunning, it is gorgeous. Or select Western Caribbean routes on Disney Adventure. Disney's deals don't last long. They put them out there, and in a day or two, they can snatch them right back. So you really want to check this out if you're at all trying to get on a Disney cruise and you want that beautiful brand new Disney adventure that's going to be sailing in Asia, but it's going to do some Western Caribbean ones as well. This is the way to go. 35% off. What do you think? I know that I'm going to be booking some cruises for myself, my family, as well as others. These are some smoking hot deals, right? And if you sit down, my sister has a very unique way. She sits down and goes through her whole year long of time off. She looks at like holidays, dates, and plans out when she wants to cruise. Maybe we're not all as organized because she is a very organized young lady. But if you can snag one of these deals, you're going to save money. You're going to save money. Yeah. Some of them you can sit down and plan it out, but others are last minute. Yeah. Cruise, the good thing is cruise deals always come up, but during wave season, during this time now, that's when you can hit some of the best deals that are out there, some of the best deals around. All right. Let me see what else I want to share with you tonight. What are you guys doing? I already told you, right, that I just took down my Christmas tree. Yeah. Anybody else like me? And give that thumbs up, smash down on there. I had an inspection today. I live in an apartment. And there was a gnat that just flew in my face. I caught it. And one of the things that they had mentioned to us was, please have your Christmas decorations down. I got a little offended. I'm like, you don't tell me when to take my decorations down. I could keep my it's January 13th, Cynthia. What are you waiting for? Next Christmas? Yeah. Yes. All right. I think I have shared everything that I was going to share tonight for cruise news. I said news. Cruise news. I wanted to give you those smoking hot last minute deals as well as there's those other wave deals. So that's kind of all. And I wanted you to answer my poll question. Let me see. I'm going to end it. And what did we get here? Yeah. Music, shows, and entertainment. Yep. Me too. It's not that I don't want the other things. That's not it. I want great dining. I don't want to be complaining that my little lobster's only this big. It's smaller than a deck of cards, you know. I want great entertainment, great food, great shows. I want great itineraries. But I live in Texas. Sometimes the itinerary is the same thing that I've done over and over and over. And I'm still going. So that's when it's time to explore the ship or the shows, or maybe do something that you hadn't done before. Right. All right. That is everything. I thank you so much. Please share this with anybody that you know who would enjoy cruise news, cruise entertainment, cruise fun. Share it out. Give it a like. Give it a thumbs up. Go back and watch it again. Share it with somebody else. That's how you can help. Absolutely no cost to you. All right. I'm going to let you go a little early. What time is it? 7:53. I got some stuff to do. Thanks so much for joining us again tonight here on Right Recipe for Travel. And I'm going to look and find you again next Tuesday. All right. Thanks so much for joining. Bye.